Hello there everybody, so Butter92 and welcome back to Rose Guns Days, first season. And in the last episode, we ended the crazy Alfred arc, apparently. Now Alfred is dead. And I will never be able to bring back that glorious voice, until we find somebody else that can actually fit with that one. But, at the end we got ourselves quite a surprise twist with, a person named Miguel? Who is going to be the I'm guessing he's going to be the Kokichi of this game. Well, I mean, that's the voice that I'm kind of going with, so it kind of fits, I'd say, I think, maybe, hopefully, I don't know. But, more importantly, I was told that this next arc is supposedly going to be a really good one. Not really, thank you very much for not spoiling any details. I greatly appreciate that. But supposedly this one is like, some people, there's a couple people that said this was like their favorite arc, or this particular arc that we're going to be seeing is pretty good. Standard wind. That always gets me scared. Alright. The club was filled with Japanese businessmen who would be starting new contracts with Primavera.
Welcome to Club Primavera. I'm truly pleased to be able to start up new business relationships with you all.
The pleasure's ours. You really saved our necks. To think we'd be able to ask for a deal this big. You truly are our savior. The businessmen worshipped Rose, thanking her for how much this deal had saved them. She literally looked like a savior who had descended upon them. A pink-haired savior, what do you know? Rosa divided up all of Primavera's business contracts, doing her best to hand them off to Japanese businessmen whenever possible. With this, I'll be able to keep my family decently fed. I'll probably be able to take care of my debts, too. I won't have to hang myself. That's... Well, that kind of took a dark turn there for a second. You're a goddess. We'll never forget what you've done for us today. I see. So this is what Rose-san was planning. In this day and age, Japanese merchants who only speak Japanese are forced to fold up their shops. Rose is saving those people. That's Rose-san for you. Her forethought and consideration are just incredible.
Everyone, please listen.
Yeah, did you ever get that freaking... Don't fucking tell him about that.
You're all gonna die!
What?
The great disaster and the war have made this a very painful time for us. For that very reason, because of the times we live in, I think it's essential to help out our fellow countrymen. And so, it might be a bit nosy, but I have a request. If you manage to gain even a small amount of money from your contracts with us, please, use that money to employ our countrymen.
As you are no doubt aware, there is a crowd of people waiting in front of the employment agency on this very day, looking for jobs with tiny wages. If you can't speak English or Chinese, you cannot find a place to work. You have no business opportunity. I believe everyone gathered here is fully aware of this.
Primavera will make contracts with our countrymen, and you will all employ our countrymen, paying them for their work. If we can expand like this little by little, if every one of our impoverished countrymen is able to find bread, I'm sure that everyone will be able to find happiness. That's what I believe.
Even after Rose finished, the room was filled with silence. Everyone knew, logically, that they should be helping each other in this difficult time. However, tough times made the world tougher to live in, strengthening everyone's desire for self-preservation. Though everyone pitied their jobless countrymen, no one would actually stretch out their hand to help. Bravo! When Leo started clapping, everyone was shaken out of their stupor, and they thunderously applauded Rose's noble spirit. As long as I can survive, that's enough. Everyone had to feel that way in these painful times. For the first time in this era, they saw the sparkle of cooperation and bonds between people.
Well, that's nice. In that moment, the Japanese organization of fellow countrymen Harukaze was born, wasn't it? Correct. So that very day should be marked as the first step. From that time onwards, Rose was no longer a mere lady of the evening. She truly became a person to be revered, who stretched out a hand of salvation to her impoverished countrymen. They got the backing of the occupying forces, and even won in the struggle against that troublesome Alfred. Primavera, as an organization of fellow countrymen, really did get off to a roaring start, didn't it? True. The rumor that they had defeated Crazy Alfred spread through the City 23 underground like wildfire. At any rate, punks trying to take pox shots of Primavera became a thing of the past. And on top of that, they had the backing of the occupying forces. There wasn't anything left to fear. Yes, that's so. For a while, Primavera was allowed to bask in its victory over a mighty foe. For a while?
Well, naturally.
Yes, that's right. For a while. Wolves attacked the village, so the hunters went up into the mountains to slay the wolves. They were able to lead peacefully for a time. But soon, a stampede of deer came down and laid waste to their fields. Because the wolves were slain, the deer multiplied and became dangerous. Haven't you heard a story like that before? Oh. You mean Crazy Alfred's presence was holding something else in check? Well reasoned. That's it exactly.
Oh, geez, I just realized she has the blue rose, the same symbol that I actually have as a rank right now.
The criminal underworld is a game of musical chairs. There can never be an empty chair for long.
Somebody would have to end up taking Alfred's place. But it would just be kind of like a fight over who gets to get that spot.
The chair Alfred had sat in was empty, and so the darkness of City 23 wriggled out from its hiding places. Bit by bit, it joined together.
Oh boy.
Far from being a rosy future, this was the start of Primavera's next trial. Oh boy.
Oh.
Chapter 4, A New Ruler.
Oh yeah, that sounds pleasant. Okay. Richard's office, one of the few places doing well financially. When money lending prospers, the world's in a sad state, but the faces of the visitors here do look bright. Let's go there first. Richard's office was filled with jostling customers waiting in line. It was rare for his office to be this packed.
If you have no objections, please put your seal here. Hey, sorry to keep you waiting. This counter's open.
Well, why do I have to be the one serving tea? It's not so bad, is it? Now that there's no more thugs dropping by, you've had nothing to do back in the club, right? No, I told you to stop touching my hair!
Leo, get me $30,000 from the safe. It's for this customer here.
You got it. Would you like fries with that? He put 30 high-value new $1,000 bills into an envelope and handed it to the man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now I won't have my shop taken from me. I can keep doing business.
Leo, can we get 50,000 here?
Okay. And what'd you like on that? Now I finally have a chance of repaying my loans. Thank you so much.
However, the more I see, the more I pity them for their old loans.
Were the rates that outrageous?
Do you think a person who only reads Japanese could properly read a contract in English or Chinese? Japanese people without connections can't even borrow the money they need.
Money is the lifeblood of business.
Yep.
On top of that, Japanese merchants weren't well trusted by society at large, so they could rarely enter a contract with anything except ready cash. They couldn't just say that they would get paid by next month and delay their payment until then. That's why they have to make fools of themselves and borrow cash, even at insane rates. Dirty money lenders. Oh, Rose-san! Thank you again! Rose-san! Rose-san! Thank you, thank you!
How is it going? Does it look like this will lift the burden on you, at least a little?
Little! You've saved us! Switching over to Richardson's low interest rates has saved us all! To think we could receive financing like this, and after receiving a contract! I'll always be grateful to Club Primavera after this.
From now on, I plan to personally buy all sorts of things from all of your shops. Everyone, if you have the chance, please buy things at the shops of your countrymen.
And when the blood-called money flows, our future should grow a little brighter. You got that right. The Japanese are really anemic these days.
Let's all stand alongside each other with a cooperative spirit. Oh, and when you're going for a drink, please drop by Club Primavera.
Gotta throw in that advertisement.
We'll throw in lots of extras for the same price.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, it's kind of good that they're helping each other. That's nice. I like that. Gives you a sense of camaraderie.
Rose, over here, over here. Stella, Meryl, Amanda-san. Sorry I'm late. This is Rhett, meeting in a shop outside the club.
If you've called the three of us here, it must be something big. In that case, wouldn't it be better to talk about it at Primavera?
Unless it involves secrets regarding our business, I'd like to try and hold meetings at other shops.
Ah, yes. I heard the rumors. So that's what this is.
Yes, exactly that. And what is that?
You know, all that about helping our fellow countrymen.
We are clearly earning more than the average Japanese person, I think. But for some strange reason, it all vanishes in a puff of smoke before the end of the month.
That's probably because you keep spending it on drinks.
That's
Okay, me and Stella are on the same wavelength here.
That's just because you drink too much. You're the one who keeps losing her pay envelopes in that filthy room of yours.
What did you say? I can't argue because it's true. Oh my god. Enough. Be quiet. That's right. It's as Rose says. We're very well off financially. So, now that we've established that, what next?
We use money at a lot of stores, don't we? Drinking, eating, buying things. When you do that, I'd like you to choose stores run by our countrymen whenever you can. What do you consider when you're deciding which store to go to? Stores that are cheap and have a lot of stuff in stock, I guess.
Only big, beautiful stores for me.
Your room is filthy, but you demand that the stores you go to are clean, huh?
You might as well go live on a buoy in a barrel of wine, animal woman.
How dare you?
Oh god, would you two just never mind. So basically, Rose's point is this. If you're going to buy something anyway, try to buy it at a Japanese shop if possible.
Yes, that's right.
Well, you gotta start small, help the Japanese economy.
I'm not trying to tie you down by saying you can't shop anywhere else. However, when you choose where to shop, try and keep this in mind at least a little. I'm sure our countrymen around us will be saved.
And you want us to prefer small shops to large ones? To buy from shops that look like they're about to fold rather than clean and neat shops?
What?
Idiot. If a shop looks like it's going under, we should buy there to support them.
Yes, that's right. You're free to spend money as you choose, of course, so I'm not trying to coerce you. However, if you're shopping or going out to eat, and you remember, please give it a try. That's all.
Well, I mean, at least you're not shoving it down their throat and forcing them to go to a shop. It's more like, could you please at least attempt it, maybe? And you want us to pass this on to each faction of the girls?
Yes. It isn't mandatory. Just think about it when you happen to remember. That's all.
I think you're oversimplifying the matter. But that nature of yours is what makes you our madam.
Yeah? Our respect for that part of you is what makes you our madam.
If our madam says so, we'd better follow her instructions. We have no objections. We'll go back and pass this on to each of the factions.
That's good. Thank you. In that case, that's enough of the formal talk. Owner, please start bringing them out. Let's have a toast.
Yes, as you wish. There you go, one after another, Madam Rose.
Of course, this restaurant was also run by one of their countrymen. Since joining in on the contracts of Primavera, the operation of this store had changed dramatically. The happy owner began carrying food and bottles to the table, one after another. Watching this, some impoverished-looking men began to grumble.
Ladies of the evening just rake it in. They're drinking good, damn them.
What's that? What did you say? You can talk behind my back all you want, but I won't forgive anyone who does that to Madame Rose. Out, scum!
Honor, we're sorry, forgive us!
Damn. You go, random owner. Sounds like Claudia finally opened her shop. That girl, with her long-held dream, is truly shining admirably. Even during this time of black market overflows with many good bargains, filled with customers, open-air stores, thieves, and pickpockets, and also children. Oh, that's gotta involve Wayne, I bet. High-class restaurant. Oh, gee, of course Meadow would be there. A high-society restaurant in the Newton district. Meryl said she was going to brunch, so she wanted me to come along. Oh boy. Let's go to the potato restaurant. I'd like 4 helpings of potatoes a sweet. Oh, and 4 green teas. What's good soy sauce you're using? If I could eat these prices every day, I'd come all the time. Look at that line. It keeps going past the tobacco shop on the corner.
Rose, thanks so much for coming.
Well, at least it looks like your shop's doing well.
Claudia, looks like you're doing great here. Congratulations. That opening celebration wreath is wonderful. Rose, you really went all out. Well, after all, Primavera's hardest workers finally made her dream come true.
Even so, it's been so long since I've seen wreaths. Wreaths are great, part of Japanese culture. You probably haven't seen them around lately. After all, Japanese shops are either folding or being sold off.
Still, Japanese people just love wreaths. Just looking at all these big flowers makes your heart leap.
Might be. The customers are looking cheery. Yeah, come to think of it. I thought there'd be more poor-looking people trying to get food for the cheap store opening prices. Well, as far as that goes, everyone's just sick and tired of bad news.
These store opening wreaths have let everyone feel their hearts grow lighter for the first time in a long while. Look, the bustle going on inside the store is like something you'd see at a festival or a temple, right?
It is. It's like they'd come with their families, summoned to the temple by the festival drums.
Right? Do you see what an incredible thing Claudia's done this era?
Exactly. We've got to support her.
Claudia, congratulations on opening your store. If you ever run into any accounting difficulties, please consult with me whenever you like.
These are flowers from us. Thank you so much for what you're doing today. Not only is this wreath huge, but the flowers are so lovely. I'm the happiest girl in the world.
Oh god. Incoming the waterworks.
It's delicious.
This is good. It feels like I haven't eaten decent food for months.
Japanese people would die without miso and soy sauce.
This rich soy sauce taste. You must be using some good stuff. That's a growing boy for you. You've got a sharp tongue. Shut up! I'm a perceptive man, unlike you, old man.
Hey, Wayne Coon, don't point at people with your chopsticks.
Up goes the hood.
Still, soy sauce is supposed to be pretty expensive. I'm surprised you can sell it at this price.
It's a secret, but I'm actually boiling cheap soy sauce and adding a few things to get the flavor right. Genius!
So, you managed to get this good flavor out of this terrible fake soy sauce? I must say I'm impressed.
Hey, big brother, don't talk with your mouth full. Still, someday I'd like to cook with real soy sauce.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of soy sauce, but I can understand why people like it.
I'll get lots of customers, make lots of money, and buy lots of good things to cook with.
Well, if they have good things to eat, that'll give everyone a boost.
Then I hope everyone gets brighter and brighter. It all circles back. I'm starting to like this. I'll come here to eat every week.
Ooh, that's good. You got yourself an everyday. You got yourself a multiple run customer.
now, Miro-san. Thank you. By the way, would you like me to keep a bottle of potato sochi reserved for you?
What the hell's that? Is that like wine or something?
Please do. And don't stop finding good drinks, okay? Okay.
It's a drink.
A shop that's locked for its alcohol won't go under so easily. If you're going to specialize in potatoes, try doing baked sweet potatoes. The scent will draw customers to you.
Well, baked sweet potatoes are pretty good.
And how about candied sweet potatoes? And if you can make stuff like Mont Blancs every now and then, that's sure to be popular.
I don't think I've had candied sweet potatoes. I think mostly it was just fried and people with oil and all that stuff. And baked.
That's right. Potatoes are delicious and good for your figure, so girls all love them. I hope your shop is loved by everyone forever.
Aww.
Everyone, thank you for all your advice. I really am the happiest girl in the world.
And she's crying again. Oh, a shop opening up. Feels like a good omen for some reason.
That's because you never see new Japanese shops opening these days.
Even though it's just one new shop, I'm feeling strangely happy.
Our Wreath isn't the only one out there. She must have gotten some from those businessmen, like the one she got her ingredients from.
The men talking to Claudia over there sure are probably the heads of those companies. Look, they're thanking her with tears streaming down their faces.
From their faces, it almost looks like Claudia saved them from committing suicide with their families.
The store can't run with Claudia alone. She must have more people employed and working in the kitchens.
I mean, I would be incredibly impressed if she was working by herself, but yeah, she definitely needs people to help her out. Especially if she's gonna have a lot of business. So even the ones she employs can now find food. By opening a single store, she makes the people happy, makes the neighborhood brighter, makes the businessmen she's contracted with happy too.
That's right. Right now, Claudia's creating happiness for many people. This is what it means to bring happiness to a city, isn't it?
I sincerely hope that the shop flourishes. Partly so that her loan will be repaid.
Come on, brother. Please don't talk like that today. I'm sure she'll make a bundle off this. She'll pay back that loan in no time. Then I'm sure she'll keep starting more shops and find happiness.
Well, she's got my support.
It might be that a lot of the girls in the stores will try to follow her example.
I'm really rooting for them. If anyone needs financing, let them drop by the Mauji office.
I always made fun of her for being such a clueless one, but... damn, she has me beat today. And if some shady-looking people drop by demanding property fees? If they do, I'll come running and beat the crap out of them.
Make sure you leave some of the fun for us, okay?
I don't need help from old guys like you.
Oh my god.
Just the family feelings.
I want to be like Claudia. I want to help give lots of people happiness.
You can,
You think so?
as long as your heart keeps on whispering to you.
Yeah.
That's just really nice. Alright, to the back alley. That came out dirtier than I thought. Or maybe not.
I mean, you even took down Crazy Alfred. People are talking about you and the others all over town. Even we're feeling great, like we're connected to it all.
You guys still need to train up a bit more. After all, we're rats, and we don't rely on anyone. When things get tough, you've got to be able to take care of yourself.
We are training. We want to be like you, Aniki Wayne. And then we want to be Primavera bodyguards too. We want to become legends like you.
Me, a legend? Don't make me laugh. There's loads of people in this world who are stronger than me. We've got a long way to go.
I guess you could say he's got a ways to go.
It's hard to even imagine someone being stronger than you, right? You're our shining star. We all want to be like you. Hey, look at my stance. Please, keep teaching us lots of stuff.
Get a JoJo reference. I'll teach you, but make sure you never use it except to protect yourself. We're rats. We live by sneaking around in the shadows and taking things. But we still have our pride. We may steal, but we never hurt people who've done no wrong.
That's your golden rule. We're still following it. We're proud rats. We steal, but we don't use violence.
That's right. Stealing for pleasure is evil, but stealing to live isn't. Train well, eat well. Use the money you just got to eat something healthy. Don't use it to buy cigarettes.
I mean, at least you're giving him life advice. Stay away from the cigs.
As always, thanks. Aniki, Wayne.
The street children truly respected their Aniki Wayne like an older brother. The world called them vagrant children and scorned them. Only people who had known the same hardships could understand them. Wayne's old comrades came for today's food money and scattered. Wayne, wishing them luck, left the back alley and returned to the bustle of the marketplace.
Leo? I was going to call out, but I figured I'd just get in the way. You did the right thing. Slow old men are like sitting ducks to us. Give me a break. I've got to be able to pay the rent for my apartment. The great disaster in the war left a ton of orphans behind. Children without parents don't get treated like humans. We're treated the same as sewer rats. Was it like that for you too? I've been toughened up. I was an orphan even before the disaster. One of those so-called family suicides.
Ooh. Shit.
At first, I was sent to my relatives in the countryside, but got treated like shit. They would always eat sukiyaki in the main house, and leaving me eating scraps in the shed. Whenever anything broke or went missing, they always blamed me and beat me half to death. So, you ran away from home? Yeah. After grabbing all the cash in the house, just like they wanted it. Also smashed a jar that they treasured like it was gold.
Well, that's one way to get back at them.
Some secret savings tumbled out of it. Of course, I gladly took those too.
That must have felt good.
Then Wayne had hidden away in freight trains and so on, making his way to Tokyo. He believed he would find some sort of comfort in the city, unlike the harsh countryside.
However, the people there called us vagrant children and despised us. We really did steal and fish through trash to survive. We even followed wealthy-looking ladies around, begging for money. It was all done to survive. No one would help us. No one. Except your own two arms.
In the Great Disaster and the war created crowds of orphans. None of them became orphans because they wanted to. They suddenly lost their parents' protection and were thrown out to fend for themselves. Wayne gathered those kids and taught them the skills he'd learned to survive. So basically, you kind of became, I mean, they call you big brother, but in a way, you kind of became their dad in a way.
We aren't treated like people. Because we're rats. However, we have the hearts of wolves. All of us are lone wolves. We stay alive by our own power, without relying on anyone's help. Those who can't do it fall down and die from malnutrition and the cold. When we tear a ragged blanket off a friend who's gone cold, putting it around ourselves, I'll never forget how the adults looked at us then. When Wayne had gotten sick in this world and prepared himself for death, Rose had saved him, and for the first time in his life, he learned what unconditional love was. Now it's clear how a ruffian like him chose to be so fiercely loyal to Rose alone. It's true that I've never been on the battlefield. That whole baptism and artillery fire thing has nothing to do with me. I fight using my own style. I shoot using my own style too. That must look hilarious to a person trained by the military. Still, I've crawled out of just as many hells as they have. The battlefield is what you call a place where death is an inch away, and I've been living on one since I was a little kid. So, don't look down on me. I never have. I wonder. If you want, how about a meal together? I've got no money, I just gave it all out.
My treat.
You want me to dress up nice and go off to lunch after letting my friends go fish through the trash? I've got no intention of playing around with you. Go eat your fancy food alone.
Looks like he doesn't like me.
I mean, he tried. Don't worry, Leo. I'm pretty sure he'll come around. Damn, though, that passed with Wayne. Oh my god, I just had a realization. This story has a Wayne. This story has an Alfred. This is an alternate universe for Batman! Those who make a living in the world of the night have their daily rhythms skewed by half a day. If a person of the day gets home between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. and goes to sleep at midnight, then a person of the night gets home between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. and goes to sleep at noon. So, brunch for a person of the day would be a late night snack for a person of the night.
You take a left there, it'll be right in front of you.
If it's in the middle of the day like this, you might as well use a taxi. Or is this something dangerous that calls for a bodyguard?
If Stella was here, a taxi would have been fine.
Richard told me. I hear those thin arms of hers can pack a punch.
Well, I hear she does martial arts and kung fu and stuff for her figure. Still, she's no match for my killer fighting skills.
Well, you know, I don't doubt it. I think you're both strong in your own rights.
I didn't really call for you today because I wanted a bodyguard.
Oh, then should I take this as a brunch time date with a beautiful lady, just the two of us?
Sorry to disappoint you. It's just not just the two of us. In fact, I wouldn't be able to make it if it was just the two of us.
Okay.
You're late. You know, women who are sloppy about time aren't well liked by men. You can complain to Stella. It isn't my fault. Stella. She said something about one of her regulars suddenly calling her up. So, she ran away? It seems I'm not well loved. And so you brought Leo. After all, you'd suffocate with just the two of us. It's not like that's why I did it.
Am I in the way?
Of course not. In that case, let's all have brunch together. The cheese omelets here are excellent. Let's make Stella regret that she didn't come.
Ooh, cheese omelets! Brunch with two beautiful ladies. Looks like today is going to be great.
You mean with one beautiful mature lady and one beautiful girl? Don't forget that part.
Semantics. The Newton District was a group of beautiful high-class apartments built as an ideal futuristic city during the rapid construction after the war. It was often used in propaganda as a symbol of the Reconstruction under American leadership, appearing repeatedly in newspapers over there. However, considering the average Japanese income, this wonderful city of the future was basically a group of homes for the upper class. Now we're gonna find Tagami here. This restaurant, which fit in perfectly with its surroundings, exuded an elegant, otherworldly atmosphere. It had apparently received a visit from MacArthur himself when it opened. Damn. A massive photo commemorating that was on display. Leo, Meryl, and Amanda enjoyed piping hot omelets that the chef had cooked right in front of them. Ooh! Meryl, Stella, and Amanda. These three high-ranking members of Primavera were each the boss of a faction of ladies in the evening. Rose, as the greatest common factor, had chosen as the madam, but it was probably necessary for the three of them to meet like this from time to time. Unlike Rose, I'd gotten my hands dirty to bring everyone together.
The way you do things is a bit forceful, or should I say vicious. A lot of your girls have come crying to me, haven't they?
It's the same for you. Some girls have come to me because you're unreliable.
And you can bet they're regretting it now. Blech.
If I remember right, Primavera started as an alliance between the factions run by the three of you, Stella included.
Amanda was the one with the most followers. Still, she had to get pretty nasty to gather them all.
It couldn't be helped. Sometimes forces needed to bring a group of women together. Weren't you the one who was always swung a bottle around and went wild whenever she got mad?
Only when using words wasn't enough.
I mean, for God's sakes, the bottle's always the last resort. I see. Sounds like bringing people together is tough among women.
Then after the war was over, I was the one who proposed forming an alliance of ladies of the evening to be used for various reasons. That's when all hell broke loose. All the dissatisfaction with Amanda up until then exploded. Certain people who didn't want to acknowledge me as madam began agitating the others. It's your tyranny that started the whole thing, isn't it? Quiet down. This is a high-class restaurant. Well,
so, Rose is the figurehead carried in to end all the fighting.
exactly. She's a strange kid, isn't she? She was terrible at getting customers, but very familiar with handling things behind the scenes. If the conflict continued any longer, there was a danger that the alliance would fall apart at the seams. That's when we declared a truce by setting up our common friend Rose as the madam. So when Amanda took the blame for the fighting and retired, we were able to settle everything.
Incredible. So it was a fight without rules.
Rose possesses a strange appeal that fascinates people, but her suitability as madam is an unknown variable. And so we figured we'd all better get along well, so we could support her. We've made up, so that makes us friends, doesn't it? I wonder. Well, I'm willing to be an adult about it. Leo, make sure you protect Rose as well. If something happens to her, Primavera will break up mid-flight before the day is out. That's no joke. If I knew I'd be listening to this boring stuff today, I might have run away too. I'm sorry. I've heard that Primavera is doing very well lately, and I just want to offer my thanks. It's reached my ears as well. You finished off Crazy Alfred.
Maybe Sleeping Alfred would be a bit more appropriate now.
News of Captain Butler's backing has also spread throughout the criminal underground. It looks like Primavera should have no worries going forward. Now, finally, looks like I'll be able to retire for real. Oh. Well, get on with it. Invite me to your top knot cut and retirement ceremony. I'll bring my scissors. Who are you calling a sumo wrestler? That's enough out of you, little drunk diaper girl.
Oh my god. Who
you calling a little girl?
Yep, without Rose, the club would be done for the next day.
Amen to that, dude.
Those two would be trying to kill each other.
On a night during his day off, Leo took his trip outside. His destination was that same old place, Bar Nobushi. During the Alfred incident, he'd been placed in Karaji's debt again. Karaji was a fairly reliable man. It probably wouldn't hurt to go to offer his thanks. Well, I mean, of course not. The district of City 23 that Bar Nobushi lay in was far from safe. It was a region near the employment agency, the factories, and the harbor, and was filled with living quarters for laborers. Partly because of that, the area was packed with unhappy men tired from their labor and gloomy men depressed by their low wages. Those men would use their daily income to buy drinks and forget their troubles. Bars like that filled the streets. Or this street. Though the part about forgetting their troubles with drink was the same, the difference between this and Primavera's downtown area was like night and day. The expressions on the men's faces were hostile, always glaring and looking for an excuse to start a fight. If your wallet wanted to go on a diet, you should probably go for a careless walk down the alleyways here.
I'm surprised I ever managed to reach a bar in a shady place like this.
You could see some sort of scuffle. Better than a kerfuffle. A group of people seemed to be watching, but they looked strangely distant. They didn't try to stir the fight up even more, but they didn't try to cut in and stop it either. There was a cold distance between them as they pretended not to be interested. It's not like I was trying to run away. I'll return the money to you no matter what. Great, then let's have it now.
We'll be taking it in full with the interest, though.
My husband got sick and he's hardly able to find work at all. I finally managed to get employed at a sewing factory. I think I'll be able to pay you back by next month, so please, please. What's this? You think we'll let you get away with it if you just kneel on the ground?
Well now, hold up a bit. We aren't demons. If you just pay off the interest, we'll let you slide off for this month, okay?
Okay. If just the interest, I'm sure I can manage.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Hello? What's wrong with you guys? What on earth are you talking about?
A young man in a strangely unique outfit drifted into view. The men's faces stiffened. Miguel-san!
That woman. She tried to run away without paying up, didn't she? And you're still going to let her get away after kneeling once?
She says you'll be able to pay back by next month.
If we mess her up and she's too injured to walk, that won't do any.
It was so fast that it looked like the knife had shot out of Miguel's palm. The thick blade was thrust right in front of the man's nose. Whoa.
I don't think she needs her nose to work, do you?
No. The tension was too much for the man and he flopped down onto his butt. His face was covered with beads of sweat. He must have known. This man called Miguel might have really cut his nose off.
Clumsy woman. Women are so stupid as they are hideous. They always forget how much they borrowed and when they're supposed to pay, right?
That's not true. I haven't forgotten for a moment.
But you did try to run away, didn't you?
With another lightning movement, the knife's blade was pressed up against the woman's nose.
Women sure are stupid. If they don't write things down, they forget right away.
Mercy, please have mercy.
I'll make sure you remember it every morning when you go to wash your face. 'Cause I'll write it in nice and clear on your clumsy mouth.
With a rapid motion, Miguel swung the knife that had been pointing at the woman's nose, turning it behind him. The tip of that knife was pressed against the shrugging Leo's nose.
Let's stop that, shall we? Her face isn't a notepad. Why, hello there. Do you have some sort of problem with me? I'll write that on your face so you'll always remember when you wash it.
Miguel's blade drew a silver line. It tore the air over Leo's head. No, his eye had once been.
That's a sharp, youthful blade you have there, but isn't as polished as Alfred's.
He probably hadn't even imagined that his strike would be dodged. Miguel's eyes went wide for an instant.
You're a bit young for that toy, kid. If you're going to swing things around, stick with candy bars. What's with this guy? Just who is he? Now I'm starting to want to check and see what color your blood is. You're a crazy kid. I'll punish you in Mama's place.
Okay, let's go. I can go full crazy with this guy, right? Goody, because I have really no qualms with doing that. Holy shit, though. Okay,
My turn.
whew. Whew. Miguel's on.
I'll bet you're a picky eater. That look on your face looks like you've never eaten peppers or punches before.
Okay, yeah. Okay, we got the knife coming in.
My turn, bitch.
Whew. Okay, counterattack. Okay. Hit a Rosecon! Holy shit, he is still going! Ooh. Oh, damn, I didn't get my Rena.
Hey now, haven't you had enough yet? Why don't we call halftime?
To think that anyone could give me so much trouble. Incredible. I'm shocked. I never knew there was a man like this in City 23.
Okay, that's enough, Miguel. Whoa, look at you, dude. And Shishigami, please let him go with that for now.
Courage.
Miguel, remember I've always been talking about him? This is Shishigami.
You're Shishigami?
He was a combat instructor during the war. He's pretty good, isn't he? Putting that aside, I see you're as skilled as ever, Shishigami.
It's no joke. I was on the ropes. My head was a hair away from being a sliced tomato.
Let me introduce you, Shishigami. This is Miguel, a survivor from my unit. He spent a bit too long on the line between life and death. Restraint is something he's forgotten. Don't make that face. Shishigami is my mate. I won't forgive you if you fight with him again.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Shishigami. Think we can become friends?
Miguel! Dang it. He's a lost cause, that one. I should have introduced you sooner.
Looks like he loves you. Seems jealous.
Well, that man's like a paranoid cat. Oh well. What are you doing today? What the hell are you doing with that getup, dude? Is that like your normal attire when you're not working at the bar? On your way to the bar?
Ever since that Alfred business, I've been willing to thank you.
Have you? I'm a bit busy at the moment. I haven't been around the bar lately. In fact, I was only passing this way by chance. Think you could show up around this time next week?
Sure.
I've been hoping to catch a drink with you from time to time.
Sounds good. See you next week then.
Yeah. Sorry about all this. Later, Shishigami.
This had been the first time he'd seen Karaji comfortably wearing a suit. Karaji got into a car that had been waiting for him and waved his hand. Leo waved back and turned away. Okay. What the heck? That's such a very weird choice of attire, and he also knows Miguel? Also, I think I was getting a little way too into character with Miguel, I think. Ugh. Moving Primavera's money from the club to the safe in the office is a pretty dangerous job. Stella asked me to act as a guard during transport. Hotel Chrysanthemum. High-class hotel in the administration district near the occupying forces headquarters. Everyone here is connected to the American Army, so there's not much space for a Japanese person. A food cart lane serving unknown dog food-like stuff. If there's any good side to it, it's that it's overflowing with various rumors. Alright, let's go to Richard's office.
So, this bag's filled with our earnings. It's pretty heavy. Mind if I borrow it for a bit to use as a picking stone?
Pickling stone, sorry. That's the manifestation of the girl's sweat and tears. Please treat it with care.
Still, are you sure about this? Just the two of us to transport all this money?
Rose and I secretly transport our earnings on random days.
I see. So it's safer to carry it in a secret without standing out.
In this day and age, I dare you to write money transport vehicle on the side of your car.
You'd probably need MacArthur-class protection.
Exactly. So it's safer to transport it secretly. You make a fair point. The car went straight towards Richard's office. There, the money would be kept for safekeeping, get divided into good and bad money by Richard, and then go off to the bank, or to be used for bribes and so on.
If you joined forces with Richard, you could probably pocket a ton of dough.
That sounds like an enticing dream, but please stop. If I did something like that, our auditor Amanda would see through it at once, and I'd be blowing bubbles in the Arakawa or Edo rivers tomorrow. Ugh.
Sounds like a single night of dreams would cost you a lot.
Amanda might give off an order like a quiet, reserved madam, but don't underestimate her.
She's personally employing several bodyguards, and the rumor says she's got assassins too.
Oh, really?
Do you want to hear what happened to the girls at her club who tried to take money and run? And know about the thirsty duck torture?
I think that's the first time I'm hearing of this.
Okay, stop, please. I won't be able to go to the bathroom at night.
The thirsty duck tour. Is it that bad?
Well, if you aren't at least that strict, you'll never be able to lend that many women.
Or lead that many women?
I've heard you lead quite a few girls yourself.
Yes, and I've sometimes been forced to yell or take action. Of course, compared to Amanda, the things I did were nothing. Nothing at all.
Ooh, scary.
Well, in other words, no matter where you are, you're done for once people stop taking you seriously.
Ugh! What's that? The door to Richard's office was flung open and a man rolled out. Enough saying the same thing over and over. Richard told you to go home. Answer the same, no matter how many times you beg. Can't you make an exception? Richard-san? From behind Cyrus, Richard appeared with a cold expression. His icy eyes didn't show a fragment of mercy. However, in front of those eyes was a carefully hidden cheat sheet of threats. Or are they taped to Cyrus's back? I've not a single dollar to lend to the likes of you. If it's financing you need, start by paying off all your loans so far. But like I said, that's impossible. And if I can't borrow money... According to the contract, we'll take the house and store you put up as collateral. These are dark times, but a single man should be able to eat enough to get by. Then where am I supposed to sleep starting tomorrow? This is the life you've chosen. Well then, I don't believe we'll meet again. Even Richard sometimes made mistakes when choosing the people he lent money to. This man had embezzled money from his shop, then tried to cover himself by gambling. He hid this fact and then came crying to Richard. Oh, you dumbass. Of course, the money Richard lent him also vanished at the gambling spots. Richard had found out all about it. There was no longer any room for excuses. It was hardly uncommon to get customers without nearly enough backbone to work hard and pay back their debts. Please wait! Richard-san! When the man grabbed Richard's arm, Richard used his chilly hand to roughly brush off the others and grab him back. I see your fingers are very clean, compared to the rest of you. That's... thank you? Cyrus, remove this man's fingers. Fingers? Fingers. Ah, so close. He tripped up right in the middle of his best threat. Sure thing, boss. And all of his toes, too, if you please. That should help calm my anger at his failure to pay up. You must be joking! I run a business that depends on trust. If I let a man who didn't pay get away with all his limbs fully intact, it would interfere with my business. His threat was delivered with an extraordinarily cold look in his eyes, but Cyrus was still desperately trying not to laugh. You've got nothing to worry about. Half a day before we cut him, we'll wind some string around each. That'll stop the blood from getting to your fingers, and then they'll go all numb. It's supposed to hurt a lot less that way too, you see. Help me! So long, sucker! Cyrus is getting away. You don't want fingers off a dirty old man, do you? I believe I ordered you to remove his fingers. Don't you mean fingers? After making a cold glance at the escaping man's back, Richard turned around. However, no matter how ruthless he tried to act, his old friend Cyrus could see right through him. Oh, he's embarrassed. You were so close to perfect, too.
My brother hasn't changed at all, has he?
Oh! You're with Leo today?
Here's the money from the club.
Got it. I'll take care of this. Come on in. I'll make you some tea.
I'd like some.
The tea you make is delicious.
Suddenly in the mood for tea now.
So, you threatened them pretty hard.
They aren't mere threats. Cyrus is too soft for his own good.
Sorry, boss. There's another finger necklace I've cheated you out of. God.
Stella, here's the receipt. Hand it over to Rose, if you would. Then, if you'll forgive me, I'll take my leave.
What is it? Are you going home?
Some urgent business came up. I spent last night in the office. So, I'll be going home now.
You okay? You look a little shaky.
A sudden wave of drowsiness hit me. I'm getting too old to pull all-nighters.
Leo, would you escort my brother home? I'll write it on a map for you.
Richard's house was in the apartment area, not so far from his office. It was a bit surprising to see that, though he must have been making quite a bit. He lived in an apartment like a working class man. Living humbly, I guess.
Thank you for driving me.
Thank your sister. It's no trouble.
Well then, I'll take my leave. Good night.
You're looking shaky. I'll escort you to your room.
The weariness must have hit him all at once. Richard really did look shaky. On top of working all night, he'd been forced to deal with a customer making difficulties about repayment. At this rate, he might fall over right there and fall asleep. Leo decided to lend him a shoulder. His home was on the first floor. Richard opened the front door. The front landing was, like you'd expect from him, methodically neat.
Guess I'll leave you here. Good night.
I feel sorry for letting you go without a present, even though you brought me here.
I don't need souvenirs. I'm just worked for my salary.
What's wrong?
What the? Leo had found something odd. It wasn't strange to see laundry hanging up to dry inside a building. However, it was strange to see long white strips of cloth hanging up to dry.
Those are too thin to be towels, aren't they?
They're for diapers. I'm sure you know what they are.
Well, I was more wondering why they were hanging up to dry.
Is there a problem with them having them in my house?
So, you're a fan of these?
Well, I have heard that even some adults with peculiar taste enjoy wearing them.
Oh, I'll pretend I saw nothing. Don't want to butt in on your private life.
I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I get the feeling you're making a rude misunderstanding.
At that moment, an elderly woman with a baby on her back appeared from the apartment across from them.
Oh, Maogi-san. Welcome home.
Oh.
Hello, landlady. I'm back.
Thank goodness. Yuji-kun's been such a good boy waiting for you. Haven't you?
Oh?
Yuji. Such a good boy. Papa's here.
What? You're a dad?
Has he been a good boy? He hasn't caused you any trouble, has he?
He certainly has been good. Isn't that right, Yuji-kun?
Okay. I'm gonna drink I'm gonna get some water here because I'm not entirely sure I can say this without cracking up. Okay.
Ooh, Gucci goo. That's a good boy.
I think I managed to see a pretty incredible side of Richard today.
Is that his son or something?
I never knew you had a kid.
Oh my god, he has an artwork for it. Oh, that's so perfect. Oh my god. I can't handle this. I can't handle Richard having a baby strapped to his back. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Ooh.
isn't mine. It's my little sister's.
What? That's Stella's kid?
No, Stella's little sister. Her husband died in the war, and she herself passed away in an accident.
I see. So that's how it is.
I took him in, and the landlady here is gracious enough to look after him while I'm at work.
So I get to see the heartwarming side of a self-proclaimed cold and heartless moneylender. What's his name? Yuji, was it?
Yuji Eugene Maogi. By the time he becomes an adult, Japanese names might not have any meaning anymore.
Oh, wow.
It seems that Rose calls me a man who acts cold, but it's warm on the inside. However, that is a mistake. I was the ruthless man I appear to be.
You mean, in the past? At the very least, you've changed now.
Oh! I never went to the battlefront. So, I remained in Japan and suffered in the Great Disaster.
I heard it was such a picture of hell that it made the battlefront look peaceful.
I still dream about it. Even when large trucks pass by and shake my bed slightly, I still wake up and jump to my feet. When faced with an Earth that can destroy everything in a disaster like that, one is forced to feel that life is a miracle.
Did that experience bring about a change of heart?
It made me think that having a life... No, just that the fact that life exists is a miracle. Not that protecting life, then taking responsibility to prevent further loss of life in this land, is something that must be done.
Damn. Richard had inherited his parents' money-lending profession. His prudent parents had cleverly divided and hidden their assets, making it possible to gather a significant foothold even after the disaster. Damn.
The only relatives of mine that survived the disaster were my two younger sisters. That's when I had a revelation. I must protect my family instead of our deceased parents. I began rushing to earn money even more ruthlessly. The saying goes, even the trials of hell removed my money. With money at our side, we could overcome whatever world we were placed in. Protect my sisters. To protect my sister's unborn child. I earned more and more money, going to all the limits.
You're a man worthy of respect. Cares for his family.
And then when my younger sister died, and I started raising her child, I began to think even more. Eventually, I will die. All I can do for Yuji is save up money. However, when I looked at the world around me, I couldn't hide my unease.
So you imagined the Japan of the future that your child would live in.
Precisely. And when I imagined that, I began to be tortured by an irrepressible feeling of unease. True enough, the Japan Island chain still went by that name. However, half a century from now, even that name might change. The idea that the Japan Island chain belonged to the Japanese, that it was ours, might not even exist just a few decades from now. In the distant, almost unimaginable future of the 21st century, half a century from now, Japan might slowly die. The Japanese might become a minority hiding away in secret. I didn't want this child to be thrown out into a future like that. Even saving up money would not change a harsh future. However, there was nothing else to be done. For a long time, I was without hope.
The future, and the next generation after us.
Despair for the future, known for the first time after starting to care for a child. For a single man like Leo, it was an emotion he'd never felt before. So he understood.
What Rose is trying to do.
Yes. What she is trying to do will end up protecting this child's future.
I finally see. So that's why a man like you would go so far to support Rose.
Rose had the ability to bring ladies of the evening together, but she knew nothing of the politics, diplomacy, and accounting necessary for a madam's job. After all, she left almost all of the money matters to Richard. If Richard wanted, it would probably be easy for him to take over Primavera from behind the scenes. However, even though Richard supposedly had no obligations to Rose, he had silently sworn his allegiance to her. Damn.
It didn't start off that way. I must admit that I had some aspirations of getting her to trust me and running off with everything. However, ever since Rose started saying that we should prioritize our countrymen when making deals, and began to talk about their goals at length,
It changed how you felt too.
it felt as though for the first time the darkness between us and the future was swept away. At one time, I thought that only money could do such a thing. However, now I can see clearly how unreliable money is. Even if Japan is destroyed, there is a future where we will get by, helping our fellow countrymen. And that is what I felt I must leave behind for this child.
Oh,
Damn. It was as though his drowsiness had been swept away. Richard kept on speaking eloquently. Leo felt sure that Rose and Primavera would be safe as long as they had this man supporting them.
My strength alone is not enough to make her ideals a reality. Leo, your strength is also essential. Please, I beg you. Going forward, lend us your strength for Primavera's. No, for Rose's sake.
and also for the future of that child and others.
Yes.
Rose is the boss, but you're the one paying out our wages. I couldn't disobey an order from you.
I see. In that case, this is an order. I want you to save Rose. For the children's future.
Yeah, I'll take that responsibility.
Damn. I wasn't prepared for that. Oh my god. Damn, Richard, you made me like you even more.
Whoa, this is one hell of a place you've taken me to.
You thought I'd be one of those little coach and play drinking places? Don't underestimate me.
You hadn't dreamed that the place Karaji would take him drinking would be a futuristic high-class hotel in the administration section of the city. Following their promise of the previous week, Leo and Karaji had met up to go drinking alone together.
Is it really okay to go in?
Walk in proudly. We're customers after all.
Whoa! Snazzy. Karaji boldly strode across the lobby. His majestic, dignified presence was in no way inferior to the social status of this hotel.
Yeah. Okay. Can't read the damn English menu, so just bring out anything. Don't forget the hors d'oeuvres, mister.
And here I thought you could speak English.
Fool. This is Japan, right? Why should we be speaking English like good little boys and girls?
After settling their order with only a gesture that betrayed no trace of hesitation, Karaji smiled heartily. Without at least this much audacity, you probably wouldn't be able to get by in the coming era. For a hero in dark times, you need a bold man like this. Leo felt a charisma from Karaji that only members of the same sex could appreciate.
Hey, thanks for your help the other day.
You mean Alfred? Well, he might have owed me, but I owed him nothing. He got what he deserved. That's right. There was something I wanted to ask you about that.
What's that?
Ishigami, you wouldn't happen to know a man named Leo, would you? He's been the topic of a lot of rumors lately. Rumor has it he went toe-to-toe with Alfred and took him down unarmed. There's only one man I can think of who fits that description.
Sounds like even this Alfred person has lost his edge.
I've been pretty sure this Leo person was you, Shishigami. Am I wrong?
Got the wrong man. I'm the kind of pacifist who can't stand fighting.
Well, okay. Whether you're Leo or not doesn't change the fact that you've charmed me.
I'm glad you like me. Wanna try kissing or something?
Nah, we don't. No. We don't wanna set off the fangirls. Or the fan fictions, which I'm pretty sure there's already billions of that.
You're not fooling around, Shigami. You've got a natural gift. And that is the ability to judge people.
And I've matched up to your expectations?
I can sense a drive about you, and not the fake courage that the desperate cowards have either. You're the kind of man who would, if faced with the rain of arrows, would be the first to leap forward with his spear, a fearless grin on his face. That's the sort of drive I sense in you.
You overestimate me.
Oh, my judgments aren't wrong, and I also have the strength to bring them to fruition. That's not being evasive. I'll give it to you straight. Shigami, I want you to join me. I'm about to start a certain battle. In that battle, I'll need a strong right arm I can rely on.
Huh? The battle?
That's right. One last battle to truly end the war inside all of us repatriated soldiers. Have you ever thought about what that war meant?
I've been told it was about freeing Asia from this colonial rule of the West, over and over until I'm sick of it.
We ordinary soldiers have no way of knowing whether that noble cause was our real goal. Or whether we just wanted to snatch those colonials away from the West and take them for ourselves.
Oh dear. True. Thinking back on it, the point of that whole war was ridiculous.
However, our country made us fight, and many of us lost their lives in foreign lands whose names we can't even remember. All of us had a life once. We had jobs once. We had families once. We had all those thrown away, and we were forced to fight.
Even so, if they'd been able to accomplish something and end the war, they might have been satisfied with that. However, because of the great disaster, the war ended before anyone knew what was going on. Without knowing what they were fighting for or why they were out there, they were forced to return to their unrecognizable homeland.
There was no point. None at all. There was no point to that whole war. Everything happened on the shoji chessboard of those higher-ups. There was no point to the lives and deaths of us common soldiers.
That's right. We didn't accomplish anything.
They had just encouraged youngsters with an impossible promise, then betrayed them.
Very well then. Let's pretend that whole war never happened. In that case, we should have the right to take back the life we lost thanks to the war.
To take back your lives?
It was in the new constitution, wasn't it? Citizens have the right to continue their healthy and cultural lifestyles. Well, what about us now? There's not many people like you and me who even manage to find food.
Oh geez, I just realized, are those gloves or those bandages around his hands? Those look like fancy gloves. I think those are gloves. Most of the repatriated soldiers had trouble finding jobs, or finding work as day laborers, much less finding stable jobs. No, the soldiers who made it back to their country in one piece were the lucky ones. Those who had lost arms and legs in the war weren't able to work at all.
I've decided to take a stand and build a city that the repatriated soldiers can live in.
What are you going to do?
Money. Money and jobs. That's what we're going to control. Didn't you know? Most of the jobs in City 23 are now under the thumb of foreign managers. Foreign businessmen with ties to the occupying forces repeatedly pass on jobs and collect massive profits.
Let's take a second to define the phrase, passing on jobs. For example, imagine that the occupying forces order a construction project with a budget of $1 million. In this case, let's say that all of that $1 million should reach the laborers involved in the construction. However, business managers with connections to the occupying forces will take that money, pinch about $500,000 off of it, and resell all of the construction work to lower-level businessmen who don't even have connections to the occupying forces. That's what passing on jobs means. Those lower-level businessmen would take another $250,000 for themselves, then pass on the remainder to the bosses who manage the Japanese day laborers. And so, the $1 million that should have gone to pay for the construction is halved twice before it gets anywhere. It's from this massively reduced 250K that the laborers receive their pay. So, to put it simply, 75% of the money is swindled away before the laborers receive their wages. So basically how the world works at the moment, where the lower levels are always, stepped on.
In other words, it's like Nagashi's summon. The noodles flow down the bamboo flume, and the people upstream end up eating most of them. The Japanese people waiting at the end of the line will only get 1 or 2 noodles that are left.
Exactly. Middleman exploitation is the cause behind all those low wages. It's those managers will get all the contracts with occupying forces. If we can knock them down, there'll be better wages and more jobs. That way, the repatriated soldiers will be able to find decent jobs and decent wages and live a decent lifestyle. Then, when we've gained our normal lifestyles, we'll finally be able to forget that meaningless war.
Is that the way you found of ending your war?
That's right. I'll end their war for them. And once I've done that, my war will finally end.
But how are you going to fight? Your opponents aren't the foreign businessmen with connections to the occupying forces. Are you saying you'll kick them out and take their connections to the occupying forces as your own?
It was hard to imagine Kureiji, who couldn't even speak English, chasing out the people who already had connections and taking those for himself. Furthermore, as far as the occupying forces were concerned, Kureiji was a foreigner. And also a member of an occupied people. It was extremely hard to imagine they'd offer Kureiji new connections after he kicked out the businessmen who were, to the occupying forces, fellow countrymen.
There's a way to do it. Can't keep sucking up to corrupt merchants out of some historical drama. We need to be something that can make deals with the occupying forces on an even footing. And this battle is to become that thing.
Can you do it?
Of course. That's why I want you to join me. You're also suffering because your war hasn't ended yet, right? I can tell. So, I want you to join me, Shishigami. I'll end your war for you.
For a while, Leo just watched his cigarette turn to ash in the ashtray. Then he gulped down the rest of his drink and rose from his seat.
Shishigami.
My war is a bit different. Sorry, but you can't end my...
I see.
Your motives are admirable. I can see why so many people adore you. But I'm sorry. I already have a boss.
Who is it? Whose group are you with?
To say it in an old-fashioned way, I owe them the favor of a night and a meal. And I still haven't paid them back.
I know you're not a man to be swayed by money. That's why I've revealed my thoughts to you. Just once, could you try putting your boss and me on a scale and see whose goals are the more noble?
Our boss's goal isn't inferior to yours. I'm glad you spoke with me. I'll turn down your offer, but we'll still be war buddies. I'll pray that your war ends well.
After offering thanks for the meal and setting down several $100 bills, Leo left. For a while, Kureiji lazily gazed out the smoke from Leo's crushed cigarette.
I'm not giving up, Shishigami. I need you.
Why am I getting really bad vibes about this? I mean, obviously besides the changed look for Kureiji, I'm kind of concerned. I don't know. Let's just jump out to the food cart lane. I probably shouldn't be worrying this much. Did you hear? It's about Ivan, the guy who made this marketplace his turf after Alfred. Yeah, that arm floating in the harbor had his tattoo on it, didn't it? Hardly a surprise. I hear he rejected Caleb's offer. Caleb's offer? With Crazy Alfred gone, Caleb's got nothing to fear in City 23. He keeps grabbing up power here and there, hoping to finally have the whole city under his control. I see. So it's obey him or die. Damn, the criminal underworld can be scary. Can't even eat in peace. And last week they found John Kanagasaki's corpse. John, huh? He was the guy who controlled the shipping union, right? Rumor has it that even his parents were found torn apart so you could hardly recognize them. Jesus! was probably Miguel's work.
Miguel Kurashiki. That's Caleb's protege and assassin, right?
If Alfred was the crazy of the North, Miguel's the crazy of the South. They're just as crazy, but Miguel has someone holding the reins. That's why Alfred was always worse. However, once those reins are let go, Miguel's the more dangerous one. Well, yeah, from the little moments that I had with him, yeah, he seems kind of like the unhinged kind of character. Everyone in the criminal underworld's cowering in their corners. Rumor has it even James Tomataki's family has accepted Caleb's offer. Tomataki!
Even the Tomataki family? Wasn't that the big family making a bundle of gambling dens? I heard he even had quite a few veterans from the front lines as his troops.
James is no fool. He quickly realized he was no match for this foe. It's not even a question of whether you obey or not. It's whether you get in with the victor or not. It's probably just a matter of time before Caleb becomes the boss of City 23's criminal underground.
So, the City 23 underworld finally comes under one flag. Well now, what could happen next?
What could happen? There won't be any more opposing organizations, so it should be a bit more peaceful, shouldn't it?
Don't be naive. The Mafia is a business, after all. They give you better service because they have competition.
Mafias typically make cash by demanding protection money from city dwellers doing business on their turf. However, that protection money usually isn't too incredibly harsh. After all, they wouldn't get anywhere if they collected too much and destroyed the businesses they were collecting from. Also, if they bullied those businesses too much, they would go crying to rival organizations and create the conditions for new troubles to sprout up. Because of this, it was normal to keep protection money from getting unreasonably large. But
if the criminal underground is united, that means Caleb won't have any competition. That means he won't have to appeal to the common man at all anymore. Looks like the bad times are just getting started.
hey, are you serious? Won't those big shot American troops do something about it?
If you became the ruler of the underworld, you'd probably have enough money to do as you please. Of course he's going to use that to win over the high-ranking officers in the occupying forces. Unite the City 23 underworld. And if he's got backing from the stars and stripes as well, no one will be able to disobey him.
Still, I've heard that Caleb is a friend of the impoverished laborers. Oh, yes, I heard that too. There's that rumor he's talking about fighting to get his countrymen their jobs back.
It's just like an election. Of course he's gonna say things like sound good before he's elected.
At any rate, there's nothing we can do about it. No matter who conquers the underworld, it won't change the reality of us using our daily wages to eat terrible food. At the very least, we better stop talking about shit about Caleb in the future. Who cares? Just who is this Caleb person? At best, he's just the king of the bugs. Hey, if Miguel hears you saying that, you'll get gutted, even if you're right in the middle of a busy street. Don't threaten me. I don't want to die when I've never been with a woman. Calm down. Even Miguel would hesitate to gut a grimy man like you, afraid of dirtying his favorite knife.
Got that right.
City 23 in the Tokyo Prefecture, born after the war. One time, its underworld was a mass of fighting factions led by crazy men. With the coming of 1947, it was now finally about to be united under a single man. No one could imagine how this would change the city. However, the organization called Primavera certainly wasn't unrelated to the criminal underworld.
Alfred had his eyes on us and came to cause trouble. Even this Caleb might be coming for us soon. Damn it all! I don't need another war.
Neither do we, but neither do I, buddy. Alright. Seems like a good place to stop, I think. I kind of let my crazy go out a little bit too much this episode, didn't I?
I couldn't help it. Anytime there's a crazy character, I can't help but lose my mind a little bit.
But, Caleb. I'm trying to get, like, everybody's names memorized. I'm trying. But is Caleb... I wonder if Caleb and Kureiji are the same person. I think Kureiji said his full name at one time, but I, for the life of me, can't remember what it was. I'm still kind of... I'm still in the first season. I'm still trying to get all the names memorized.
But oh boy, this episode had a lot of stuff in it. Besides Courage's new look, we got to look into Richard's life. He was a freaking kid, and it's so... Oh my god. The fact that they made a separate artwork of having a child strapped to his back is just adorable. Also seeing how he acted around that kid.
My god. You have no idea how hard it was to keep this voice consistent without losing my shit and laughing my ass off. I'm just gonna say that.
It was very difficult. Okay. Well, so far I'm liking this arc. Even though I'm not entirely sure if it's actually started or not. But so far I'm enjoying it, and I hope you guys are too.
So, if you all like this, be sure to let me know. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm thoroughly loving I'm loving this novel to bits, and I can't wait to record more. And I will see you guys
In the next video.